Okay, everyone, here we go.
So our project was the environmental challenges to construction of a ash landfill in Franklin, Connecticut. So the Connecticut Resource Recovery Authority, which is a trash electricity to ash landfill company, is currently looking for a new replacement ash landfill starting up 2008. It was currently located in Hartford, but they went through 77 different sites in Connecticut through strict regulations through the EEP and DPA to try to find the best area for it, and they've narrowed it down to Franklin. However, there's a lot of backlash from the town. It's a very small town, so project was eventually declined. But an ash landfill, as previously mentioned, is where you convert trash to electricity, which eventually powers our homes. And eventually what's left over is ash, and it's composed of inorganic compounds, trace metals, and carcinogens. And that gets transferred to an ash landfill like any other landfill. This could create a ton of revenue for Franklin, and it's projected to cause almost $45 million in revenue within a 30-year span. So it could be very ecologically sound for them. So this is a state map right here of Franklin. It's right there in Connecticut. It's a very small town. They've narrowed it down to an area by the Shetucket River. One of the regulations for an ash landfill is that the town owns the river in case there's a plume or groundwater infiltration. So right here is the proposed diagram of the ash landfill by CRA. It's a little hard to see, but all you really have to get out of it is underneath the ash landfill that will eventually be covered in grass, there will be a composite layer that's composed of plastic and also a clay layer to catch any groundwater infiltration, to catch any trace metal leakage. We did some science on it to see how well it would be projected. The CRA claims that the composite layer in combination with the clay liner would be 100% effective, but that's only for certain metals such as arsenic, and it's not for the full stream of metals. Right here it's hard to see, but this is boron, mercury is one of them, and also I think selenium, which are dangerous trace metals. That would be well above the concentrations of public health. This is just a small diagram of the percent leakage of each layer. The composite layer is predicted to leak about 23% of the time. The clay layer, 70%, and no liner would be almost 100% leakage. So while these liners may be effective while combined, there's no scientific studies to necessarily prove that, and there's no time regulation on it. We don't know how well these will hold up for. So as you can see, the role of science is important in this case. It can cause air quality issues, pollution, groundwater infiltration, and other water quality issues as proposed by these graphs. So right here is just a box model of the predicted environmental effects based off of past studies. So one of the biggest issues caused by this is increased erosion caused by construction. That will eventually down the line lead to loss of commercially important fish, which is a very big revenue in the town of Franklin, as well as the loss of aquatic wildlife. Some other issues that may come out of this is groundwater infiltration of heavy metals, and this is a big deal to Franklin because the Shetucket River is one of the freshwater resources, and it's also in close proximity to the town.
Alright, so there is multiple stakeholders in this case. The Last Green Valley was definitely a big contributor to halting the ash landfill. Also different fisheries and environmental groups like DEP, Fish Habitat, and I can't really read that one. And then also there's some historical significance to the town of Franklin, so they also contributed to trying to protect the region. This proposal kind of went through a 2-year span. Like Amanda mentioned before, the CRA was examining over 77 sites to find a possible new ash landfill to replace Hartford. And then over 2 years, the project ended up being denied by the town. There's, like Amanda has said, there's a bunch of ecological effects that an ash landfill would have on the town of Connecticut. In Franklin, right on the Chautauqua River, there's very commercially significant fish species like the Atlantic salmon and trout. I know me and my family, we used to go out on the Chautauqua River every opening day of fishing and go fishing on one of our friends' properties, and I think it would definitely, an Ashley infill would significantly harm and contaminate the fish species if there was a significant leakage from the clay liner. Also, there's a bunch of local farms in Connecticut. There is Blue Soap Farm that provides milk for Cobalt cheese. There's also Cushman Farm that provides milk for farmers' cow milk. And also the adjacent farm, which is where the sign came from, Pigs for Sale, is Avery's Tree Farm, which is actually my family's farm, which borders directly the property where the Ashley infill would be.
6 minutes.
So if there was an Ashley infill there, there would be the potential of it contaminating groundwater, which would not only harm drinking water, but also drinking water for animals and vegetation from growing vegetables. Right here is a projected groundwater infiltration contamination of different chemicals projected from the chemical contaminated in groundwater in the Hartford region from their Ashley infill. There's different zoning regulations in Franklin, and because it also gears into the Willimantic or Wyndham area too, so they had to incorporate both of those. And also there's multiple state and regional policies that eventually led to the prevention of this Ashley infill.